All right. So my name is Connor Gieseler. This semester I interned with UMSL Athletics and kind of an overview of the organization. Uh, they are it's the athletic department, the AD's Lori, and then my supervisors were Kevin and Alex. And kind of what I did was just assisted them in game day operations and did whatever they assigned us to do. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. So let's get it going. So my roles and duties, like I said, was game day operations. So essentially, kind of stuff that I did was I worked concession stands and tickets. I did that with basketball. Um, so, well, yeah, this kind of to backtrack, the sports that I was able to work kind of with the overview were baseball, basketball, softball, and then I even did a little bit of swimming. Um, so I kind of did a ton of different sports. Um, but yeah, kind of with some of my roles were I worked concession stands. That was mainly with basketball, flipping burgers and making popcorn, running that. Tickets, I've done both with the guest list and with like people just doing single day admissions. And that was, it's pretty easy, but it'll take a minute for you to get the hang of it. But don't be afraid to ask questions because uh, it's really easy. But if you have any questions, just ask, and Alex and Kevin are always there to help. Music for games, they're doing walk ups and playing music in between innings because they don't want silence during the games. And then also did production via production truck for the broadcast with Bob Ryan. Um, it's again, everything is really easy once you get the hang of it, but it'll take a couple of games to, get your feet wet and then you'll be off to the races. And then also scoreboard. So those are some of the duties. I also worked on different projects during office hours and assisted in setup and teardown before and after games. And that would require you to get there early, but it's all worth it. It's pretty easy. Some goals I have for this internship were to figure out what I wanted to do in the game of baseball, um, gain experience about a college athletic department, and I also wanted to gain confidence in speaking up and being a leader. So, kind of to go back to the first point, I want to do something in baseball, but I didn't know what. So I've done a couple of those roles and tasks that I listed before to kind of see what uh, what I liked and what I didn't like, and it's definitely helped me. I also got to see like how the athletic department was run and how that was day in and day out. And then I've also gained confidence in, asking questions, like I said, and then you know, speaking up about what works, what doesn't work, what I see could work, and kind of answering that question: did I achieve these goals? I did because as it's gone on, I've been able to, help Kevin and Alex and planning out kind of like, hey, maybe we should do this day, and maybe we should do this another day, and I've kind of been able to help them try to make a success with each weekend. What did I learn? I learned how to tear down, set up for each sport that I worked. It's kind of going with how much it takes to set up an event. Those two kind of go together. We would get there if it's at noon, let's say, we have to be there by 8:30, 8:45 because we have to get water jugs ready and then get like the AED and all that stuff, and then drive it over to the baseball softball field. And then we have to, set up productions, put up the flag, put up, if it's for softball, the other conference flags, get concessions ready, put up the ticket signs, any field maintenance, um, kind of just do all that. And that would normally take, if we have enough people, about an hour. And then we normally have about an hour of, just dead time, tying up loose ends, and then off and rolling for the game. And then, yeah, kind of like I said, how an athletic department runs. Kind of went over that already. And just to go with the flow, you could have a plan in place, and as soon as like you get there, something will always happen, and it doesn't go according to plan. So just go with the flow. You know, you'll tend to be a little less stressed by doing that. Biggest takeaways: the atmosphere after a great win. There's nothing like it. When we pull off a W against a team that, the odds were in our favor. Everybody's happy, cheering, having a good time. Nothing beats it. Long hours for each event, like I kind of mentioned before, but it's worth it. You kind of gain you gain trust, and you gain kind of some camaraderie with your fellow interns by doing these long hours, because you're there together and you just try to have fun. Amount of work and playing that goes into each weekend. Alex and Kevin are planning it throughout the week, even sometimes weeks before if it's like a senior night or something. So just a lot of work that goes into that, and how much you rely on your fellow interns. You have to, if it's just two of you setting up, you got to rely on them to, setting up the flags correctly, or, setting up concession stands correctly. You got to rely on them to, do their part, and making sure everything's ready to go. Personal growth, I would say confidence in speaking up. I've definitely gained a little bit more of a voice, and, helping make decisions, where I see I could help. Leaning on my fellow interns is another one. I've definitely, as the season went on, you know, once we gained that trust with each other, we've been able to, lean on each other, and, help whenever we have questions, whatever, just between the interns before even going to Kevin or Alex. And, Dom, they haven't mentioned him. He was the head intern. He's done a great job at, helping us, and, even answering questions before we even have to ask Alex and Kevin. So yeah, I would say great, great in terms of leaning on fellow interns, and then getting a better understanding of what I want to get into. I definitely know there are some things I don't want to do and some things I do want to do. I do want to be in baseball, and maybe not do stats. I never did that this semester, but watching it, I definitely don't want to do that. Um, I did like doing PA, rating off the lineups, and I did, like doing production. So we'll see where that will take me. What I would tell my younger self: relax and work hard. Listen to people around you with experience, and don't worry about the small things. If you worry about the small things, it could add up into making you more stressed than you really need to be. So just go with the flow. That's kind of what I would go with that. Um, Advice for incoming students: listen to Dr. Baleska. I mean, that's the easiest thing you can do. Just listen to her. If she tells you to do something, do it. If she gives you advice, probably want to follow that. Dive into UMSL athletics. Let that be your first internship. It was my first internship right now, and it's definitely helped me get a better understanding of how sports work, or give me a understanding of how sports work. Ask questions, don't be afraid to, and then gain as much sport experience as you can. Don't uh, take for granted the opportunities of Super Bowl, Final Four. Do them if they're offered, and you have the chance to, and you have the financial ability to. Go for it. Advice about sport management: again, just listen to Dr. Baleska. She's a wealth of knowledge and has many connections. Don't put off assignments. She gives you the opportunity to have until the end of the semester, or end of the halfway point, to do them. Do late work. Don't put it off. Do them as the due dates, so that you have an easier path at the end. Don't put them off. Go on trips. Go to the. I had a blast at Super Bowl and Final Four. I'm gonna try to go to Super Bowl again next year. Go on as many trips as you can. Take deadlines seriously, like I said, and just have fun. This classes, it is what you make it. So if you want to have fun and you want to learn about it, you can have a great time. But if you put stuff off, you may have a little bit more of a rough time. And in conclusion, these are some of the pictures that I took throughout the semester, with baseball on the left and softball on the right. It was a great time, and I highly recommend anybody that wants to get in the sports industry to jump into UMSL athletics and have that be your first internship. But thank you for listening, and I hope that my experience helps you guys in some way. Thank you.